We've got some breaking news at road2roota.com. Globalist David Rockefeller dead at 101 years old. Yeah, who? Thank God. A lot of people think, oh, he's too old. He has got no pull and no push in the bad guy's side. Yes, he still had pull, and he still had a lot of clout, and people looked up to him and were afraid of him. So yes, this is a great thing. Great news that he has left the world at 101. This guy's just not good. He's a central banker. He loved globalism. Here's a great quote from him. Some even believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure. One world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty, and I'm proud of it. David Rockefeller. Unbelievable. He was just a bad guy. He was just a really bad guy. And his control over the world was very, very widespread. Let me give you an idea of some of his accomplishments in life. He was a renowned globalist and the #1 guy who was pushing for a one-world government. Chairman of Chase Manhattan Bank, which we all know turned into J.P. Morgan, which we all know the largest bank in the world and the largest market rigging bank in the world. He was the founder of the Trilateral Commission, a commission of elites who decided the fate of the world behind the scenes, behind closed doors. Bad, bad, bad news. Bad people doing bad things without... The biggest problem is it's not in view of the people. The people should decide their fate, not these small cabal of rich elite types. He was the founder of the ultra secret meeting group, the Bilderberg Group. We all know about the Bilderberg Group and the conspiracy behind that one. Here's a great one. Mentor and supporter of Henry Kissinger. Henry Kissinger is probably the worst human being ever. If you read anything about Kissinger and what he's done and the conspiracies behind him, MK Ultra, all kinds of really satanic things that guy has been in charge of. These people are the bad side of America. This is the horrific things that America does around the world, starting wars for no reason, just to grab resources. It's all has to do with David Rockefeller, Henry Kissinger, and their crowd. And just to give you an idea of what people thought of him, everybody likes to be known for something. And here's what David Rockefeller was known for. He never met a dictator he didn't like. Just a classic, wonderful human being, isn't it? Here's one of my favorite interviews, the most bizarre interview you'll ever see. This is just a snippet of it. In 2007, Ben Fulford, the quirky guy in Japan, was interviewing David Rockefeller with a orange microphone stuck in his face in a hotel room. Really bizarre. David Rockefeller does not give interviews. How Fulford got this interview, nobody actually knows. But it happened, and he's got it recorded. But here's what Rockefeller said about Ron Paul's In the Fed movement.
What about the candidate Ron Paul, who's talking about bringing the powers of the Federal Reserve back to the U.S. government, under presidential control or control of Congress?
I haven't read about that. Is that an issue?
Well, he's one of the Republican...
He's a Republican candidate, and that's what he's publicly calling for. So,
I would not look upon that as one of the great issues that needs to be addressed at this time.
Really? Really, Mr. Rockefeller, I would not look upon that as one of the great issues that needs to be addressed at this time, said in 2007. Is the power over money not really a great issue for any sovereign state? According to David Rockefeller, that's not a big issue. But what about his buddy? Let me issue and control a nation's money, and I care not who writes the laws. Meyer Amstel, Rothschild, 1800, clearly was interested in this great issue of controlling money, and so was David Rockefeller. He's lying through his teeth when he says he doesn't think it's a great issue. He knows how big that issue is, and he's lying because he likes having control of that money spigot. Now, since I did invent the road to Roota theory, a theory that has the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston publishing articles saying we need to return to a gold standard and we need to fight these bad guys, such as David Rockefeller, let's run through what the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston said in their own book about people who control the power over other people. And as you can see, the Federal Reserve Bank still has the Wishes and Rainbows comic on their website. Just go to Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, go to the publications area, and you can even type in a search for Wishes and Rainbows or Road to Roota. There's two comic books, and these will just blow your mind, absolutely blow your mind. And it gives you a sneak peek of what the Federal Reserve thought of David Rockefeller and his power over money. And this is one of the key pages in this comic, and it's Roota lying in bed with her grandmother reading to her. Roota lives in a land of no color, and she always wanted color. The Pebble people are not happy in their world of no color. For centuries, they had heard stories of the legendary Color Land, and they longed to look upon the blues, reds, and yellows they had heard so much about. And then Jack saw the goose flap its wings and lay a magnificent golden egg. What does golden mean, Grandma? Oh, Roota, golden is one of the beautiful colors of Colorland, along with blue and red and purple and oh so many other colors. All my life I have dreamed of seeing the things that the stories describe, a tree's autumn colors or a flower's softly tinted petals. But if Colorland is so beautiful, Grandma, why doesn't anyone ever go there? Now, let's just stop right there. It's just such a bizarre comic, and when you look at the words that are highlighted, the golden and the beautiful, and why doesn't anybody go there, it's really specific as to the hidden meanings of what's going on here. You got to read the whole comic and read the Road to Roota analysis that I do, but this next frame is going to freak you out because this is coming directly from the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. Federal Reserve, the people we think are in charge of everything, they're the overlords, when in actuality they are really afraid of someone. And after Roota says, why don't we go there? Grandma says, because the people who live in Colorland are very big and might accidentally step on any Pebble person who visits. All our people are afraid to go there. And besides, no one knows how to reach Colorland. Some say you can get there through the caves near Cobblestone Canyon. And then Roota, in all her toughness, says, I'm not afraid, Grandma. I often play in those caves, and someday I will find the way to Colorland and bring back some of those colors. This is just the most bizarre frame of the comic because we are talking about a children's comic book written by the Federal Reserve talking about these huge big people who might step on these little pebble people. You're going to freak out a child, and all our people are afraid. All our people are afraid to go there. What does that mean? Who is Grandma talking about? All our people are afraid to go there. Now, I've analyzed who Grandma is. Roota is actually Alan Greenspan. Grandma is Fed Chairman Arthur Burns. When he says all our people are afraid to go there, he's talking about everybody within the Federal Reserve Bank are afraid to go there. Where would the Federal Reserve Bank be afraid to go? It would be the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, those ruling elite, the overlords of our monetary system. Crazy stuff. And then, but Roota ends with a very, very positive outlook. At least it was positive when it was written back in 1981 and then rewritten in 2007 by the Fed. Roota says, but the townspeople are still not content. Many want 2, 3, and even 4 flowers of their own. Since Roota cannot grow that many in only 2 sunlit caves, she and Rocky still search for another opening to Colorland. So don't be surprised if some summer day, when you're lying on the green grass and looking at the blue sky, you hear voices coming from underground. It could be Rocky and Roota searching for the entrance to Colorland. Searching for a go-back monetary system is what they're really saying. If you read the teacher's guide, that's exactly what they're saying. Now that we have the king, or one of the kings of monetary manipulation and the overseers of the Fed, do we have the potential for Rocky and Roota to find another entrance to Colorland, to return the United States to a gold standard? I think it is a great sign that David Rockefeller has left the scene of the party, and I think it really does open the doors for the United States to return to a sane monetary system, one that's backed by gold as per our Constitution. This is just amazing stuff. I hope it happens. It's one of the many signs along the way, and let's just keep a close eye on it. Again, sign up at roadtoroota.com. If any of this stuff doesn't make any sense, as if it's your first time listening, it won't make sense, go to roadtoroota.com, put your name and email address in the upper left corner. You get free email subscription, and you're going to get a free book called Silver, Gold, Bitcoin, and God. It's a PDF book you can download. Really interesting stuff. Go learn about the Road to Roota. Go learn about the secret plan behind the scenes of the Fed to take back our system. This is Bix Weir with roadtoroota.com.